later today, it'll be in the Calder Cup Finals. Syracuse off the faceoff, shoots and scores. Kevin Lynch. In across the blue line, looking for Shinkarik, snuck in, backhand scores! It's a tie game. O'Reilly to the slot for Shinkarik. As he lost it in his skates, O'Reilly able to find it. Leave it over, Conacher scores! A one-time power play goal from Corey Conacher.
Travis, can you characterize this game for us, just the way your view of this game would look like?
You know, it was a great hockey game. Both teams played real hard. It's probably as close to a playoff game as you're going to get at this time of the year. You know, I was happy with our team. We played hard, found a way to win a real tough hockey game against a real good hockey team.
Markstrom didn't miss a beat from the time he was called up to being back down here. Is that a great relief feeling that he doesn't have any rust to potentially scrub up?
Yeah, he's worked hard. You know, I know he got worked hard when he was in Vancouver, and Marky's a real good pro. He's a leader. I wasn't worried about him being rusty at all. I'm sure, you know, he probably will say that he's had a little rust because he hasn't played as much, but he didn't look like it.
Conacher, characterize his play.
Really good. He was really competitive. He went to the hard areas. You know, games like this, you need your best players to be your best players, and he stepped up his game tonight for sure. He was all over the ice, not just because of the goal, but he competed hard tonight.
How about his ability to draw penalties? He drew 3 that really counted big time.
Well, you know, he's one of those guys that plays so hard that he gets under your skin a little bit, and you know, he's like a little pit bull out there. It's hard to play against those guys, and I really thought our whole team, from man for man, played a real hard, heavy game, and you have to when you're going to play good teams, and obviously Syracuse is one of those teams.
Is Conacher the kind of guy that you hated playing against?
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, guys that work hard and go to the hard areas and hit and sit there and stand their ground. It's, you know, he can be a frustrating guy to play against, I'm sure, but you like having him on your team.
During the game, you were doing some shuffling around to the lines. Is that just to test things out for the playoffs, seeing if, in a worst-case scenario, what's going on? If somebody gets hurt?
Not really. No. I only shuffled the lines for a little bit because Grenier was in the box, so we had to shuffle our right wingers a little bit. You know, at the end of the game, I went down to 3 lines, shuffled a few guys to make it 3 lines that I wanted to play down the stretch, and other than that, I thought our guys did a good job. We had a hard match tonight, which we don't always do, and you know, we were matching pretty well 4 lines straight across tonight, which is a little bit different.
You see, at least the fans notice this when they play Syracuse, the rivalry that has become, you know, just 2 seasons. You feel that on the bench, something different with Syracuse?
Oh, for sure. There's an intensity in the building, and I think fans, they can sense when it's a big game. We talked about it before the game that this should be a really easy game to get up for and have lots of energy for. These are the games you want to play in. There's no reason why we're not on top of our game tonight, as A, because of the importance, and B, because of the intensity of the game.
Talk about Conacher playing really well. Alexander Grenier was skating really hard and planking himself up in front of that in the crease. He's dangerous.
You know, Grenz has really taken a good step here. We've talked about it quite a bit over the last month. You know, there's just a maturity in his game right now. He's playing with a higher level of compete. He's skating really, really well right now, and you know, the one thing about his game is he's managing the puck really well. He's figured out when he needs to make a move and when he needs to just play it straight up and maybe even put a puck by a guy and go chase it down. So, there's a lot of guys in our teams that you could say the same thing about, but he's definitely a guy that you can see his game is elevating at the right time.
How important was it to get this, whether it's against Syracuse or anybody else, after dropping two?
Well, we played real well in bingo last night. I mean, you lose in a shootout. For me, it's
right.
We addressed the team after the game, and that's a game I'll take that game every day of the week. So we had one game that we didn't like. I thought we played real well last night on the road, and coming home to play an afternoon game, that's about as good as you can ask out of your team. The game we played tonight.
Since this is the last time we'll get to see you guys in this building before the postseason, any tips on playoff beards? Are you going with the goatee this year?
I tend not to.
Well, you did the goatee in the past.
I did it as a player, yeah, but as a coach, I let the players go with the playoff beards.
How would you know Hunter Shinkaruk has a playoff beard?
It'll probably take a long, long run.
Corey, you were on the other end of it a couple of years ago with Syracuse. You're here, experience this rivalry as it's budding, and being out there today. What's your general thoughts on the whole atmosphere today?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. We knew it was gonna be a fun game tonight. They go hard, we go hard. We play a pretty similar game, us and them, and we showed a lot of character today. When things got chippy, we stuck together, and Mark, obviously he played the way he knows how to play, played big for us in net, and saved some big chances. And it was 2-1 for us. So it was, we have a lot of confidence in him, and then our D, shut them down, and our forwards did a good job as well.
You drew 3 penalties that were pivotal calls. What's the story there, Raj?
Well, it's just trying to go in those hard areas, and sometimes I get the calls, sometimes I don't, and you just got to put yourselves in situations where their defensive player has to either haul you down or let you go, and tonight there's a couple of those times that they gave me a little shot, and that extra shot the ref's gonna usually call you every time. So I try and get in their nose a little bit and get in their face a little bit, and kind of that's the way I like to play, and fortunately tonight it worked out for me.
On the game winner, he gave you a big hole. Did you see it, or were you just putting it on net?
I just was ripping it. It was a nice play by Cal to pass it over to me, and I knew they had guys in front of their goalie, and luckily I got all of it. Felt good coming off my stick, and it found the back of the net.
Now you and Cal and Sven and all these guys on the power play, you guys are clicking in such a fashion right now. What has been the catalyst to that? What's been going on that has all of a sudden made your power play just so good?
Well, we focused on in practice, and we do a lot of video, and our coaches know how to make changes throughout the game, depending on how their penalty kill is, and I think we've been doing a good job of adapting the way they kill penalties, and that opens up holes for us. Sometimes we'll go into a spread, sometimes we'll go into an overload. It depends on how they're killing. I think we're good at adapting to the way they kill, and I think that's what's been working out for us.
Since this is the last time we get to see you in the regular season, you guys are going on the road. What are some tips for playoff beards for the male hockey fans in this area?
For me, it's starting early. You got to cheat a little bit sometimes, and obviously some of the young guys do too. But I like growing it out, and obviously the longer your beard is means the longer you've been going to playoffs. So I fortunately got a chance to experience the full run and win that Calder, and this team's got a lot of similarities to that team I was on when we won the Calder. So we just got to play that the way we did tonight. We played hard. We got to play hard to be hard to play against, capitalize on our opportunities, and obviously we got 3 good goalies. We got a good set of D, and then 4 lines that can put the puck in the net. So it's going to be fun. This playoff's going to be fun. The atmosphere is obviously going to be amazing, and it's going to be exciting for sure.
These last 3 games on the road, finishing on the road like that, and still trying to get that number 1 in the Western Conference. What is your attitude? What is the team's attitude in these last 3 games going out?
Oh, yeah, it's. I've been telling the guys already. It's so important to be winning going to playoffs. The last thing you want to do is, we know that we have a spot in the playoffs. We know that we're making the worst case 3rd place. But we don't want to fall to that. We don't want to go into the playoffs, losing 3 in a row or losing, even the last game. It's important for us to be on a winning note going into the playoffs. It just builds our confidence. Going to the playoffs, we're not too worried for that first game. If we lose a couple at the end of the year here, it's like, what do we have to do to win rather than winning those games and just sticking to the way we've been playing. And so I've been telling especially the young guys, just go hard these last 3 games. Don't lay back. Don't lay an egg. You want to go into the playoffs on a good note, and it just helps the atmosphere in the room if you're winning going to the playoffs.
How much of a help is it having Jacob Markstrom return to the net?
Oh, it's huge. Obviously you got to give a lot of credit to Kanata and Yoki there. But Erickson Markstrom just adds to that. If for some reason he's not going that night, we obviously still have 2 good goalies that can hold the ground for us. All 3 goalies have been playing well for us, and we always have confidence in our goalies going to each and every game, and you can't give Markey all the credit because those other guys have played really well, but obviously Markey's a guy that he's unbelievable. He's a guy that makes big saves when he has to, and tonight he showed that, and it's good to have good goaltending going into the playoffs.